Comic Menu Podcast is sponsored by Realistic Comic Books. RealComicBooks.com.
Hello. How you guys doing? Wow, look at it's Tuesday night, and I just got paid. Friday night. Oh, it's Friday night. Fuck. I'm thinking a song from the 80s. You know why? Because we're going to be talking about the 80s today, baby. It's movie night. Oh, I know you look forward to it. You're going, hey, it's March, the first week of March, first show on this silly show. I think they're going to talk about movies that either nobody ever saw or movies that they wish they saw or movies that are so old they think they saw. They just don't fucking remember, right? Like me. I don't remember shit. I don't. The good thing is I brought people who are just as old as me, so I'm not feeling that I'm not feeling that bad. All right, so let's start bringing some people in. So yes, well, I'll say it again. I always say you have a chance to go anywhere to watch TV, whether it's going to watch Love Boat or Judge Judy. No, instead you decided to watch this handsome face. Yes, I am very handsome. And you know who's not handsome? This guy right here. Oh, Dan, my little Habibi. How can you? You know, I bring Dan on because he's like my Gilligan to my Skipper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true because he's my little buddy. Oh, if I had a hat, I hit him over the head with my little sailor hat if I had a chance. But I don't. Let's bring in the Shannon because I see she's laughing. That's good. That's good. That's fantastic.
Hi, everybody. Well, because you're crazy right now, so I'm just giggling away.
Yeah. All right.
I'm the only girl in this madness right now, so
And
somebody's
it's
got to laugh.
and it's perfectly fine. Somebody's got to laugh. You're right. And then we're gonna bring in the guy who hates absolute every mother effing thing known on earth, other than
Hi, guy.
movies that only he buys.
Except for Xenozoic Tales,
Oh.
The Max, Jaws, Star Wars, except for any of this.
That's it. Yeah, as you can see. And then
Except
and just let you guys know, Ish will be joining us a little later. He's working on his own time. But we do have a special guest. You've seen this guy before, the man whose eyes I fall in love with every single time I see him. My heart goes pitter patter.
I'm jealous now. What the fuck?
Yeah, let's go, Brian. Brian, movie man,
I
4-star.
have the pretty green eyes, so I'm sad now.
Hey, listen, I have hazel eyes. I don't fucking say shit about it. So,
Green is more rare.
so what we'll do tonight is the show of shows, because you see Brian is known as Movie Man 4-star on Instagram, whose real name is, obviously, we said Brian. This guy used to do what everyone used to dream about, and he used to own a good old video store in the mid 80s, late 80s. Look at that. You know what the funny thing is that
Are we going to discuss that tonight? Has anybody seen it other than me?
we
The
you know,
most washed horror franchise in the history of horror franchises.
yeah, we could definitely talk about that. I mean, it's going to be a free for all, but what I do want to talk about is the olden days. Now, for all the people, I like to think that the majority of our viewers who watch the show religiously
They're good, Tom.
Olden days.
are people who, oh God, how do I say this? Know the words "be kind, rewind," tattooed on their arm, on the inside of their arm, because if not, then we would charge $2, or they would charge $2.50 or $2 for.
That one's not rewound, but the other one is.
So,
We'll fix that.
what do you charge, Brian, if they don't rebound? Nothing.
We were pretty cheap, 50 cents, and we didn't have the heart.
I was like,
so we didn't.
where
charge.
the fuck are you getting
50
$2.50
cents?
from?
Come on, Shannon. We lived in LA. You know how the fuck it was.
Okay, yes,
All right.
you're right.
I mean, Brian, his video store was in the backwoods of the Appalachian Mountains or something like that. I'm surprised he even gave 50 cents.
You're right.
You
it
know,
was.
fun fact,
I'm probably not wrong.
those fees for not rewinding and those late fees. I mean, one of Brian's competitors, Blockbuster, that was a pretty pivotal part of their business model. Those late charges, that was actually baked into their business model.
God.
Yes.
Not only that, and we touched on a little bit on this. So, anyways, we're going to be talking about the nostalgia. We will be talking about the Scream franchise. They just came out with the 30th episode, the 30th version of that fucking movie.
30th anniversary.
7/30th. Okay, all right. I don't care. I think I stopped watching after the second one, to be honest with you.
Sorry, the fourth one is still the worst out of the 7 that have been done.
Is that Fast
Well,
and Furious?
I'm gonna lead up
that's
to you
not
guys.
a theory. I've seen them. It is facts.
So why don't we go ahead and get that out of the way? Let's talk about this Scream movie. So here, out of you 5, out of you 4, who's seen it? Raise your hand.
I have not.
Oh, so just you, Shannon. Now I know Tom won't see it because he refuses to see it.
Well, I tapped out. So I saw the first 2 when they came out back in the day. So I remember the
That's
first
2 more than I saw, Tom.
Yeah, I barely remember if I saw 3 or 4. I don't think I saw 3 or 4 ever. So it was just 1 and 2. Then the 5th one came out. It was like the reboot a few years ago. Like, hey, Scream 5. I'm like, all right, let's try it again. I was like, this is horrendous, and I was done. So no 6 for me and no 7. I'm out.
All right, no sex for me either. Okay, so
We know, obviously, we know.
yeah. What did you say, Brian? Oh, you haven't seen it. Where did you stop?
Oh, I've seen everything besides this one. Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet.
All right. You know what you got to do? You got to go to your local video store and rent it
Yeah.
before they got sold. Before
That'd be great.
Yeah.
If
Put
I
your name
could-
on the list. Put your name on the
It's
list.
only a matter of time because Brian's a huge horror dude, so he's gonna
Oh,
find
he's
it.
gonna watch it.
Which is why I've seen it already. There's so many good movies coming out, or at least what I hope to be good movies. Like there's a lot of horror coming out this year.
Yeah.
Like I'm super excited. Super
Well,
excited.
I got to tell you, Brian. You know, I like the fact that you have a sort of a pedigree. So I might include you, kind of like I did with Tom on this show every beginning of the month. Plus, it gives you something to do. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, you know, it's all right. So don't book any shows or any of that shit on Mondays. Your shit is here.
Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
Okay, yes, that's it. Motherfuckers. Okay, Shannon.
We're going back
Yes.
to the conversation about followers. This might describe why you only have 200 followers because you don't know what
Feeling on Mondays,
That might
but
have
he's
something
never
to do
here.
with it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
You didn't even
That's
know what
only
fucking
on
day it is.
YouTube.
He's like,
But
yeah.
I just-
That's only on YouTube. We have a lot of followers. This is
Caesar-
true.
what-
It's just
Yeah,
on
what-
Caesar
YouTube.
joining us. Merry Christmas, everybody.
no wonder I always sit here on Mondays going, hello?
What? He's like, where's everybody at?
No one's showing up. Shannon, what'd you
Okay.
think of it?
So, without giving anything away, it was okay. I think I had
Who
a
returned?
everybody,
Okay.
but it was how they returned that was different. Now, because apparently they're doing an 8, if
Oh,
and I
God.
hope to God they do because it would be the best way to fucking end it. If they do it right and Matthew Lillard is not dead, like everybody claims that he may not be if the television actually killed him, whatever, and how they deep dive into that a little bit more into this movie, it would give it an amazing twist to like end where it started type of thing. It was okay. I thought they could have done some things different. I thought that Nev Campbell's character was a little blah as opposed to as interactive as she has been in previous movies. And I'm trying not to give specifics because it'll give it away. There's some badass sequence, like my favorite, and if I say this, nobody's gonna understand it unless you've seen it. My favorite like horror part of it is the beer tap scene.
All right. So you got to
And
watch
you'll
it. in order-
You'll understand when you see it and you'll be like, oh, I get it.
Y'all can just go to YouTube and type
It's
that in.
gross
And
when
you
it
don't have to watch
happens,
the
but it's
video.
fucking
right,
cool
right.
after.
You
With
know,
the beer
back,
tap
back,
scene.
so back in my day, when someone
Yep.
talked about when somebody talked about a movie scene, you have to either go watch the movie or wait for it to come out on video, then you have to rent it. Nowadays, just like Tom said, you go to YouTube and put in beer tap scene, scream, and it pops up, and there you go. You know, it's
Probably, yeah.
it's the instant gratification that
hate it.
that's become so easy for us and so lazy for us to, you know, because there used to be a website, don't know if it's still there, where it just tells you the ending of every single movie, right?
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Nice.
And I used to, believe it or not, there was those movies that I was kind of always curious about watching, but I always wondered how it ended, even though I never saw it. I would go through and I go, oh, okay, now I don't have to see the movie. So my favorite thing was obviously growing up as a kid of the 80s, 70s, 80s. Everybody looked forward to Friday nights. Friday, Saturday nights was, and I'm assuming Brian was your busy nights, right? Friday and Saturday nights were your busy nights. And you would kind of hope, okay, all right, you snot loving kids, you know, come in here, give me your money so I can tell you, no, movie is not in yet.
Yes.
Right. And I'll put you on the list, but you're number 400
Yes.
and you're never going to see this. You're never going to see this movie. Right.
Yeah.
You're just not. When you used to get together with your friends, or maybe it's your family, but let's just say you had these a lot of sleepovers, you rent that shitty ass horror movie that maybe your mom and dad would let you rent because you're over with friends, and you pay. God, I don't know, Brian. How much was the rent? How much was the rent in a movie at your place?
$2.
$2.
Yeah. And then later on, when we got a little hard up for money, we raised it to like $2.75.
Holy shit! No wonder you went out of business. That's crazy.
Ours was like
Come on.
$3. What are you talking about? It was like $3.99.
Yeah, I was gonna say $2 to $5 was the average Blockbuster fee. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
Brian's business.
Yeah, but by
Depending
the
on the
time,
movie and when it came out. Yeah.
but what people aren't thinking about is that by the time you leave the video store, fucking popcorn buckets of the popcorn in there, the red vines,
Yeah.
the sodas.
Oh,
It's
And
it's
it
almost
was
like
still, and it was still cheaper than going to the movie theater.
then it was still
Oh
cheaper
my
than normal
god,
movies.
we spent so much money on movies. I was like, seriously?
Well,
And
because
we
you-
went and had dinner prior to it.
Well, you would pack 400 kids of all your friends into one room to watch a little tiny 19-inch, 15-inch TV, you know, and hope and everyone all huddled up, smell like ass. If there was a bunch of guys hanging out or a bunch of boys, they all smell like dirt, you know,
Drive-in
and
theaters,
sweat
you
and-
pack them in the trunk.
Oh God, you know, drive-in theaters. And there's some out there still.
Yeah.
There's still some out there that are making a comeback, but there's nothing like watching a movie in your own car with that god awful speaker that you had to hook on the fucking window
If
and roll it up.
Caesar, if you went to the drive-in theater to watch a movie, you did it wrong.
That's why I
Remember
was
that
a
thing
lonely-
you said at the beginning, the whole
I
no
was
sex
a
thing?
lonely
It's
kid,
all
Tom.
coming together now because you
Tom,
were
I
taking
was-
your dates to the drive-in and like, watch the movie. Watch
I
the
was
movie.
what?
No.
Take your hand out of there. Watch the fucking movie. I paid 50 cents for this.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
you know the thing is that there's something about nostalgia that always gets us in our feels, right?
Mhm.
Whether it be movies, toys, TV shows. For me,
Music.
whenever you with music, yes, whenever you
Oh,
you know,
music.
I will say one thing about Instagram. There's a lot of good things about Instagram. There's a lot of bad things about Instagram. But one thing about
Kind of a big
Instagram,
deal out there. Kind of a big deal.
they have those pages that show you nothing but like the intro to those old TV shows from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And it is interesting how iconic some of these intros are just burned in your brain, right? And that tells you the same thing as old commercials from the 80s. Commercials, mind you. The jingles aren't like they used to be. I watch commercials now
Oh,
and I look
God,
at my
no.
wife. I said, who the fuck greenlit this chunk of a commercial?
It doesn't make
Who?
sense.
It makes
They don't
no
match
sense.
anything. No, I agree 100%. I agree. They're so stupid.
There's no like catchy phrase. The where's the beef and the ancient Chinese
Although I
secret.
will say-
Bring it up, but I was waiting for the word beef.
What's that,
What?
Brian?
I'm sorry. What?
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I was waiting for you to mention where's the beef, so I didn't want to be the one to.
I mean that's my issue. The thing is that the thing
Where's
where
beef? No sex. Drive in, watching the movie. It's all piecing together.
listen, there's a reason why He-Man and Skeletor are there's a reason I had super friends. So all my friends were super friends. There was Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. So there's something about those old shows, right? You hear the theme to Love Boat. You hear the theme to Three's Company. You hear the theme to, and right away you get that instant.
The facts of
It's
life.
almost like-
Yeah.
Stroke.
It's almost like you can smell your old house, right? You can smell the old carpet that you used to lay on to watch your TV. You can smell the old kitchen. You can smell whatever your mom was
it's-
cooking at the time.
Part of it is and it's similar to what we get now, but it's the sort of the opposite side of the coin. Like back in the day, we had to wait a week. We were desperate for it to come back, whatever that show was. We were desperate for it to come back. So when it came back, we were there. We were in front of the TV, 8:00. We heard the show. We heard the music. We saw whatever. Now, and that's where our nostalgia comes from. Now, on the opposite of that side of that coin is what we get now. The nostalgia is literally drilled into you because you're binging a show and you're hearing the music in the opening every 45 minutes. It starts again. 45 minutes. It starts again. 45 minutes. It starts again. Because people are like, well, you don't turn that song off. You don't click through the Stranger Things song. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. But some people don't. So yeah.
We grew up in an era where we're gonna find out if the Duke boys are gonna make it. So I had to fucking wait a whole week to
Pre-show.
see if the Duke boys are gonna make it in the same fucking freeze frame of them flying over a bridge. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure they're gonna make it the same time they made it.
Yeah, but you still came back to make sure.
Well, fuck yeah. I mean, have you ever seen Daisy Duke? She was the shit. I mean, come on. I watched that with a pillow over my lap as a kid. But this is the funny thing about
We all
those
did.
shows is that you nailed it. Whatever and how bad it was, we were gnawing at the teeth for that 8 o'clock slot or that 8:30, or for me coming home from school and changing my clothes because I went to Catholic school, so I had the same uniform from 1954. And you get out of that, you maybe do your homework, maybe not. I used to have a bowl of cereal and watch. It was like Scooby Doo, Robotech. I had the list.
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids don't have that feeling. They don't have that excitement because now it's the instant gratification of anytime you want. Whereas we had to wait till 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock on that day. Unless you recorded it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I think you're right to a degree, but I think they still have that I'm ready to go, because whenever Netflix is like, here's episode 1, like they're on it. Difference is that, again, most of this stuff is binged out now. It's not weekly. It's like, here's 8 episodes, and they tear through it that day so that they can be on talking about it. And so it's like a completely different sort of experience, the binge watch versus the weekly thing.
It is true because you feel out of it.
The weekly or the drop them all at once?
For me, I mean, I used to do the weekly because that's what I came up with. But since the binge has happened, I struggle with the weekly. I will wait for it to finish so that I can tear through it in a day or two.
I agree.
That's how I am too.
I have fallen into the masses, and now it pisses me off that I have to wait because some of these shows do go weekly.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'm watching Dark Winds. It's a weekly show.
They want to make sure, because they learned that people were coming in, binging a show and canceling their subscription. So now they want you to sit around and wait for this whole thing to come through. So they at least get two runs out of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's how Bridgerton was. It was 2.
So let me go around the Bridgerton.
Bridgerton season 4. They drop it into like 4 episodes, one part, and a month or 2 later they drop the second part of it.
Yeah,
I just
think
finished
Amazon.
That too.
Amazon does that.
Amazon
drops the first 2, I think, and then it becomes a weekly thing. But Netflix still splurges it all out. I just saw Night Agent, and it's all there. I mean, it's. And I watch it and I get all happy, and then it's after it's done, I'm like, oh, you get all like, now you get all sad. Yeah. Now what? Right now I got to find another show. Oh, nothing. We watched everything. Fucking Brady Bunch it is, right? Oh, look at that. She just got hit by a fucking football in the face, which I'm not lying. I saw that last night. So I'm
no
gonna
one
go
in the
around
chat knows what you're talking about.
Oh, you sons of bitches. You guys are just as old as
I said no one in the chat. We all know.
I'm like, I know.
So I'm gonna go around the table here and ask you guys. So put yourself coming home from school in my scenario, and you're waiting for that cartoon or that TV show to come on. What was that thing you were waiting for to just plop in front of that TV and watch?
God,
I'm gonna go. Give you a couple of seconds to think about it. I'm not gonna start with Shannon.
What age are we doing? Are we doing like
let's go
elementary or like middle school?
Let's go with 8th grade.
Okay, so middle school. Okay.
I don't know what that
means.
So for me, it was the early 90s.
You shouldn't count. Then let's go with no age bracket. Let's just go when you were younger. You had that go-to cartoon that you would watch coming home from school. Okay.
It's good. 5th grade. It's not like reminiscing about the one video you were.
We're talking about cartoons. Let's go cartoons. Because later on we'll talk about TV shows. That's a different. I was a different age category at that point. Yeah. So let's go with think about cartoons. I'm giving you guys enough seconds. All right, we're go. All right, good. Let's start with you, Brian.
The Flintstones. Flintstones were always on. Let's see. I love. That's where I first really started loving Spider-Man. When that Spider-Man cartoon was out, it was pretty cool. Other than that, then after the Flintstones, the Jetsons would come on, and it was a year in. After that, you were a good hour or 2 of watching just cartoons, and then my dad would come home and he'd say, enough of that, and we're going to watch what I want to watch. So that was over with pretty quick, but
So Flintstones and Jetsons were kind of your jam, right?
I remember that distinctly, and Spider-Man, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go, Tom.
Well, yeah, when I remember when I was a kid, Flintstones and Jetsons and things like that were on all the time. My dad would watch that stuff, so I watched it. And then kind of the next step was Spider-Man. For me, it was early in the morning. Spider-Man was on in the morning, along with which is where it kind of all changed for me with cartoons. Was Battle of the Planets came on. It was like my first sort of anime experience. And so Battle of the Planets was a killer every morning before school show. And then, coming home was really the 80s for me as far as watching TV, which is where you had sort of every day was sort of like this run of like Voltron and Robotech and Silverhawks and G.I. Joe. And, for me, where we were, Transformers was on every Sunday for a while before it switched over to like a weekly thing. But that was it. That was like my early, like middle school, early high school, like that was all of that stuff was what I was into with the, I was collecting the toys and Star Wars had kind of phased out for me at that age and there wasn't anything new. So that's where all this new cartoon stuff and whatever 80s movies were happening kind of came into play. But yeah, Battle of the Planets was really where it changed for me, where I kind of realized like, oh, there's more than the Flintstones and this Hanna-Barbera. Hanna-Barbera was gigantic when I was a kid, but when you see something like that sort of pop up on your screen, you're like, whoa, what is going on? This is different.
Yeah. Dan.
I mean, I remember for me, I had such a thing for Tila on He-Man. I mean, she was just something. And that would definitely bring me back to that cartoon. I'm sorry. And also I will say
Tila slept with everything that had /man on it.
Listen, don't talk shit about my girl.
Eternia was her brothel.
A little bit of me died when they rebooted He-Man on Netflix and they made her like this really butch girl. I was like, oh, why would you do that? But for teach their own. But yeah, so I was definitely He-Man guy. I would say Thundercats again, Cheetara. Thank you. Just these. I don't know why. My hormones are running.
I liked Ryan's Cheetara that he drew, so I can't say anything.
Oh well, I mean,
what up, Ish?
Yo.
I would say for sure. He-Man and Thundercats, and then I remember when Ninja Turtles really took off, and that just blew me away. I was just like, oh my gosh, what is going on with this? The whole humor and the action and the vehicles and the weaponry and the toy line was just going crazy, and it really even made me like the cartoons more. But I would say those were the holy triumvirate of my cartooning was He-Man, Thundercats, and Ninja Turtles.
Well, and also remember that a lot of this 80s stuff it only lasted like 2-3 seasons. So there was like a cycle. It's like you went through it and then there was like another bump. It was like you go through the G.I. Joe stuff, now you're in the He-Man stuff, now you're in whatever's next, because you only got a couple of seasons out of most of this stuff, and then you were on to whatever else they wanted to show you.
You ever go back and watch like He-Man and just realize how terrible it was? Like I loved He-Man, by the way, but like this guy never threw a punch. Like he's always just throwing people. You know what I mean? Like never used. Well,
He-Man was the original morality cartoon. Like they literally wanted to tell you at the end, hey, in this one, the friends learned that they could get together and save the forest from the evil whatever.
But that was like forced on them, right? Because there was this whole it was like there was this whole issue with. Similar to soap operas, right? Designed to sell. The whole issue was these were like 30-minute commercials,
right?
Targeting kids to buy toys.
Right.
So they were forced to put like these messages in there, like now we know, and knowing is half the battle. They were forced to do that.
Yep.
So it was like a big deal, and they were forced to do that.
Because, the joke was on them because we were flat broke growing up. So commercial.
I was getting Reman from the fucking swap meet. I don't know what he had like one arm.
Glad I live in
7 fingers.
No swap meets. Like we didn't have that.
Well, we had swap meets, you son of a bitch. Shannon, what was your lineup coming home?
So I'm gonna agree with the whole I loved Scooby-Doo and Flintstones and stuff like that, but like X-Men, I was a huge X-Men girl back then. I didn't watch a lot of the Spider-Man cartoon. It was kind of into me. TMNT, loved it when it first started coming out. X-Men because I was a huge Storm person. But like that would be what I would look forward to. And then Dell said Captain Planet. Loved it when I was a kid. Won't argue with that one. It was funny to me though.
Are we talking just
choking on
any
air.
cartoon lineup?
No, we're talking about
No, we're
your,
doing like
your coming home from
childhood.
school. So you're coming home from school, you know, you're getting ready, you know, and what's that lineup that you're like, oh, I can't wait to watch this. What was it? Ish, what was yours?
Oh, it's tough. He-Man was definitely in there when I was younger. It was definitely the thing.
She-Ra.
I didn't hate Jim. I mean, they just tried to kill each other every episode. You know what I mean? They literally tried to murder each other, dropping like pianos. They tried, like, it was crazy. But for me, the most memorable block, obviously I remember He-Man, but the most memorable block was that Disney block. Right in that time period when I was going from like, you know, preteen to teen, when you had like Chippendales, Rescue Rangers, and
oh my god, I loved that.
And
I hated that
DuckTales.
shit.
DuckTales.
Of course you did. You
I-
grumpy old fuck.
Tiny
even
Toons,
as,
I
even as a
totally
kid,
100% agree. The only thing I liked out of that was Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Everything
Love
else could
Darkwing
take a
Duck.
Wait
hike.
a minute. You didn't like Animaniacs?
Well, no, I'm talking about the
No.
duck stuff, like DuckTales and Chippendale, or whatever.
I
I
mean,
don't want any of that. Animaniacs was a different breed of comic book.
It was,
I was
pretty,
not
it
a
was
huge
pretty
fan
special.
of Animaniacs. I
I
was
was-
not a
Animaniacs,
huge
okay.
fan of it.
Wow.
I didn't like anything cute and cuddly like that. Chipmunks and all that
You
bullshit. I
don't
just couldn't-
now.
I,
Well,
I,
but the
I- you're
Animaniacs
right.
were not cute and cuddly.
Not at
if
all.
You watch
I know,
the
but
story.
it was
It
too
was very
silly for me.
belligerent. No,
It
it
was
was
too
very
silly.
belligerent.
Yeah.
I
think
always
that's
felt
No.
that the Animaniacs was too adult for kids. Like some of the humor,
Yeah.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
like.
Oh,
Most
Okay,
kids aren't
but
going to
Ish-
understand Goodfeathers, right?
Ish,
The
to
play
be
on
fair,
Goodfellas.
No. To be fair, if you look back at all of those shows now as an adult, none of them were child relevant. Like they all had innuendos in every way, shape, or form. Disney, Scooby, like all of them, Nickelodeon, they all did.
but
So
some were
none of them
subtle,
are
some were
none of
in
them
your
are
face.
like, oh,
I mean,
Disney's the worst.
Looney Tunes was probably the worst, right?
Oh,
Like, it was
God.
No, I
Looney
would
Tunes
say
was doing it.
Disney.
Yeah, Looney Tunes
Disney
was doing
may Disney may have been worse than Looney Tunes by far.
I mean,
Looney
Elmer
Tunes was the
Fudd put
only
a shotgun. Elmer
real
Fudd
bully.
put a shotgun on Duck's face and blew his beak the other
Yeah.
side.
It was the only cartoon.
yeah, but that's not sexual innuendos. That has
I
nothing
mean,
to do with that.
Pepe Le
It
Pew
was a pretty big beak.
Pepe
I
Le
love
Pew was
Pepe Le Pew.
pretty much raping that cat, man. Like he was just like she wanted nothing.
Why are we
Nothing,
keeping
man.
such
She
innocent
wanted
things?
nothing to do
Pepe
with
Le
him.
Pew. I
Like
love Pepe Le
nothing to do
Pew.
with him.
Well, let me give you.
Hanna-Barbera. What about the Hanna-Barbera cartoon Wacky Races? I used to love the Wacky
I
Races.
love Wacky Racers. Yeah, I used to like Wacky Racers, the Olympics. You know, I used to like all that shit.
Laugh
So the-
Olympics.
Yeah,
The Laugh Olympics. So let me throw in my lineup.
out.
Voltron.
Herculoids, Birdman, Space Ghost.
Yeah, but that was Saturday
Space
morning
Ghost.
cartoons.
I don't give a fuck. I still
Those were
watched
Saturday
it.
morning.
Okay, so you want we got Voltron, Robotech, He-Man, Ruby Roo, Shriek. We're fucking Scooby Doo would fucking.
I watched
He would
Scooby
do it.
before school and after school.
Oh man, Scooby. And before school, Trenzor Z. I used to watch before, and then Battle of the Planets was my shit. Never got into teenage.
I forgot
the-
about Battle of the Planets.
I never got into Turtles. Never
How
once in
old
my
are
life.
you, bro?
Never got into any of the cute.
Caesar's favorite cartoon was called The Sunset.
You son of a bitch! You son of a
Before
bitch! Dan.
electricity, that's all I had.
You're
He's
so
like, "Yeah, I
lucky.
love
that-
the wind."
It's the best joke, Dan. Yo, that was
Yeah.
so great.
He's like, I used to love Harvest.
He's like, we'd watch the leaves blow off the trees. Every
All
day-
right, let's continue now. All right, this is
every day
actually
after-
nice and
every day
peaceful.
After stone chiseling class, we'd watch the leaves blow
Oh,
off the trees.
wow.
You know what? That's you know, the funny, if you're talking that about me, you're talking. If you're saying that about me, the same thing with fucking Tom and Brian. They were all about the same age, you sons of bitches. So you attack on me, you attack on the rest of them, assholes.
Ooh,
All right,
that was
What else we
fucking
got?
funny. Oh my
Hey,
god,
Bill.
look who it is.
I have to jump in because somebody said that Darkwing Duck was the best one out there. Y'all forget Gargoyles?
Nah.
I was
good.
past. I was too old for Gargoyles.
Oh, I forgot.
I was
Y'all
a little
are
too old for gargoyles.
Nah.
Hey,
Y'all are way
Del,
too old.
you're the baby in the group, remember?
Yeah,
Gargoyles is
yeah.
fine, but that's like the basic bitch go to. That and Batman animated series. That's like everybody's like, oh, I'm like, all right, they're fine.
Dragon Ball
Let's
Z.
not get crazy.
I've been saying Dragon Ball Z every day. I would go watch that. Now,
No,
you went,
my
That's
a
kids
red flag.
watch it
That's
a red
now.
flag.
My kids
right.
watch it now, but like
Your
I
side,
Yeah,
no.
son of a bitch.
okay, let me ask y'all. Do y'all remember Recess, Pepper Ann? What other?
Too old. Too
See,
old. You're too young.
Big age gap between us.
You're such
That's all
a
Nickeloadian
baby.
stuff. And that's where
Yeah.
That's
that's
not
where the
Nickelodeon.
timeline
That's Disney.
ends.
Dragon Ball Z.
That's too
No,
old.
We're talking about,
that's too
like,
young.
old
That's-
I watched Nickelodeon cartoons like Jabberjaw and like Dino Mud.
Samurai Jack.
Yeah, but that's all that
He
stuff
can't
was
hear
just
you.
Hanna-Barbera retreads.
Yeah,
Caesar, my
He's
child, is
talking
saying
about stuff that
hello.
was like made for Nickelodeon.
Hello.
which is
What's up,
a whole
JJ?
different world.
Wow. Damn, there is
Well-
a big age gap. I thought Sharon, I thought me and you were
That's
closer in age, so
No.
Sweetie, I'm 46. I've got a decade on you easy.
Dale,
Dale, if you
I
want,
just turned
Dale,
38.
if you want to relate, you got to talk to JJ right next to Shannon. That's that's
So
That's
for
who you're
everybody who doesn't
relatable.
know, this is my baby. He's my 16-year-old pain in the ass.
What up,
right,
bro?
and that's the only one that Dale can relate to when it comes to cartoons because
But
it's a lot of the
he
stuff.
is a huge,
Animation,
huge
sir.
comic nerd. Loves them.
So,
Although I don't know if they can hear you because I have the talking. I don't know.
so the cartoons was our we talk about all the times where Looney Tunes taught me many things for the first time. I learned classical music from Bugs Bunny, right? I learned how good a piece of steak looks like. That was, every single time I watch someone eat a piece of steak, I always wanted a steak for dinner because it was this big, right, with the big circle in the middle, right?
Close, same, but close.
But yet I was smart enough to know that if I jump off a cliff, I'm not going to splatter, leave a mark of my body and get right back up. So, because you know how they were like, oh, they're very violent, kids are doing stupid things, blah, blah, blah. But I was smart enough to go, well, I'm not going to jump in front of a train and it's going to bounce off me. Or it's very funny how the dichotomy of how our brains
Caesar's flexing how smart he was versus cartoons.
I mean, we can take those out.
Hey, look, anytime I can flex how smart I am, period. I don't give a fuck when it was, But cartoons was our thing. Yes. And then let's talk about the Saturday morning cartoons. As I mentioned, the Herculoids and Space Ghost and Birdman, Super Friends. Super Friends was during the week. My favorite was Legion of Doom, Super Friends versus the Legion of Doom. I mean, you couldn't get enough of this stuff. Now you watch it back now and you're like, wow, it's not that great, but yet there's still that piece of you that still watches it because you're like, yeah, I was in a very good place at that time. That was in my happiest moments. But you watch it again deeply, you're like, God damn, that's fucking bad, But you weren't thinking that when you were 8. You weren't thinking that when you were 9.
But also back in
fill up my TV screen, if there's a box inside of the box, I'm good. I can't do it.
Also remember though that back
Tyler?
Even in the 80s, like the amount of content that existed was not much pre-cable, right? Like you had NBC, CBS, ABC,
It was all
whatever.
syndicated.
Like you just had a handful of channels, a handful of TVs went off at midnight. Like there was nothing on at midnight, right?
Yeah.
So the amount of content that existed was different. So it wasn't like we were being inundated with any of it. So all of it meant more because it was all there was. So and then again, you only got a couple of seasons of this or that.
But Tom, even back then, like everything was educational. The cartoons were educational. The commercials were educational. Like everything, there was some kind of moral to be taught. Don't stick things in your ear. The elephant had all the fruit shit coming out of his ear. I mean, everything was like educational.
I don't know though, because all I know is because there was about 400 commercials of cereal between 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. All it was cereal. Captain Crunch, Honeycomb, fucking the frog, whatever that frog was, the stupid honeybee.
Yeah, it would sell
sugar
you toys.
snacks.
It would sell
Oh,
you toys.
my
It would sell
God.
you cereal. It would sell you, Disneyland, that kind of stuff.
And
That-
McDonald's.
and nowadays,
God,
what do we get for
McDonald's.
commercials? Hey, take this drug so that you this drug and then this drug.
Oh,
Like that's all
God.
we
Spring
get now.
Breakers
It's
Gone
like
Wild.
it's take drugs and gamble is what we get on commercials now.
Just give
I think that's
Yeah,
what
but
we should
people are
do. We
dancing
should
while they're telling
replace.
you the side effects are death, like your arms will fall
Yeah.
off, shit like that.
Yeah.
I think we should
So-
replace the
You might not
medication
scratch your arm
commercials.
anymore, but you might have permanent
Consequently,
diarrhea.
toys for kids aren't as good
Hey,
as they were.
I thought we were
then
going to
either.
start talking about like movies and videos.
Yes, yes,
back
yes,
in the
yes.
day. Can we
Wow.
like, get to that? I don't give a
Wow,
fuck about
Shannon.
fucking commercial.
Wow! Wow!
Real quick.
There were some dope commercials back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, used to be Spring Breakers Gone Wild. When I was growing
Again, you and your Nickelodeon Spring Breakers gone wild. Oh my god.
up, that's what the commercials
no,
were.
Oh my god.
I was in the whole Girls Gone Wild thing.
Listen, if we're going to talk about movies, and I agree with Shannon, we should probably segue to the movies.
Yes,
We
yes,
cannot-
yes, yes.
We cannot leave the 80s until we talk about friggin' Columbia House and how you, for one penny, you could get
Oh,
8 movies.
Yeah.
Wait, hey, Dan, you still owe, huh? You still owe money, don't you? Like $700.
Dude, I don't even.
I used to do that. I would sign up and cancel
Oh.
so many times just so I could get like the bundles for really cheap.
I didn't even
So
know it
good.
actually worked. I like lived in the hood.
Oh.
I thought it was.
Well, I
like,
guess I'm not
I
that
used to
old.
get 'em all the
see
time.
it.
Okay, well let's go to what we're actually here for because it's the movie night, which due to our special guest movie man 4-star Brian over here, who used to own for first of all everybody who's coming in. Thank you so much everybody for showing up every Tuesday night. Brian used to own a video store back in the day. Back in the day,
Oh,
he used to charge $2 for your VHS tape. Oh, that's even if they had the fucking title you were looking for. All right, now let's all go back. Right, let's all go back to the Wayback Machine. And you're young. You're going to the video store. What's that one movie that you're gonna go ask Papa Brian there? Do you have this in the back? Because I'm pretty sure, Brian, everyone needs to ask you, do you have a copy in the back because it wasn't in the front?
Like there
Right.
was a secret spot where we didn't put movies out, so we couldn't make
You're
money.
ruining my hair.
Every movie we needed to make money off of, we weren't hiding any of them. Trust me.
Right. A secret spot. Yeah. You had the secret stash that you don't want to put out because you don't want to make money, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to keep collecting.
I'm
$2
quite
that day,
educated.
yeah.
well, sometimes they're in the return bin.
No, you're not.
So
But okay.
So I didn't rent movies in the 80s. I didn't even have a VCR
Oh.
or a beta. Yeah, I didn't have a VCR till I was like.
The stores that we had 2 stores in our area, and they always had the box on the shelf.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't there, like if it was checked out, they just wrapped a rubber band around it so that you could see. Oh, they carry it, but it's out. So we didn't have to go ask them. Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? It was just like, oh, there's a rubber band. We're hosed. We could check and see if it had got returned. We could do that, but.
Man.
The system was really good, and we were like, all right, let's just go find something else.
There was
I
always
a
that.
movie theater guy and a cable TV. I was 13 in 1989. So I was a movie theater guy.
I was one.
I was a cable television.
Del,
kid,
shut
you know what I
up.
mean? I did. There was no going to the. I didn't even know where to the
A
90s.
A lot of us
Blockbuster came.
existed before cable existed.
Yeah. This
And me
is the
me
funny.
too, but
This is the funny thing about video stores. And Brian, you're gonna say yes. So the kids go in there. They're asking for a certain movie. A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not there. Then you see a guy walking into the store with like movies in his hand, and you're like fucking vultures. You start to circle around that guy, right?
Yeah.
What's he returning? What's he returning? And then Brian Percy will be like, "Yep, it's none of the shit you're looking for." It's like
You were ADHD before that existed, Caesar. I think.
oh, listen, I wanted.
Before it was like laid out as a
Hey
clinical
Brian,
thing. Yeah.
Brian, when you had your shop, what were some
Yeah.
popular movies like that you recall were like flying off the shelf? What were some of the popular ones?
For me either.
Well, so in the movie world, it's like the music world. New release day, still to this day, is always like on a Tuesday. So Tuesdays were always super popular. So everybody wanted to see that movie when it came out, but they always had to wait until Tuesday. So it just depended on what time of the year it was. I remember Batman, the first Batman movie was probably the biggest movie at the time that people just couldn't get enough of.
But that movie was like the culmination of like 80s, you know, because the 80s movies went really big, right? They had like McDonald's promotionals and all kind of, and Batman was like probably the biggest merchandising film of it was 89, right? Of the 80s. It was super huge, man. Super huge.
I think the movie that we had the most copies of at one point, and this story is absolutely crazy. Some of y'all might remember this story, but it was 3 Men and a Baby.
I love that movie.
Can you put me at the bottom? Can you put me at the bottom? I need to be put to the bottom.
I will still watch that movie if it's on, just because I love it.
So we had like 50 copies of that movie and would rent every single one of them just because everybody in town wanted to see the Ghost Kid in the
Ghost.
The Ghost Kid,
Ghost behind the curtain.
I didn't
the cardboard cutout.
I would tell them, you got to rent that so you can see the Ghost Kid, you know.
So you're renting Wizard of Oz so they could watch the Munchkin hang too?
The Munchkin hanging, yeah.
Yeah, so Wizard of Oz was an odd one. That was one of those that people would just buy. And that, VHS and DVD were different. DVD was a huge downfall for the video industry because everybody wanted to collect DVDs. They didn't want to collect VHS. They took up more space. DVDs were cooler. So once that started, it really was a downfall.
What about Jaws? That's Tom's favorite. How would that go in the store?
Jaws?
Oh, I know how it went because every time I rented it, the tracking at the top was fucked and you couldn't fix it. So, it had been watched 1,000 times prior to me.
Worn out pretty quick. But,
That's
Jaws
funny.
it was shown on TV so much. You didn't have the video store was good for the stuff that wasn't shown on TV all the time. So Jaws could be seen quite often.
And you just record it and just skip to the commercials. Yeah.
And it's such
I had a question. How, because it's different now to back then. How long did they have to wait from the theater to go to a VHS?
That was normally 60 days.
60 days?
Really?
That's not too bad.
Really?
Was it that fast?
Yeah. So when you ordered movies, you were either
remember back then a day was a lot longer.
You ordered the right amount or you really screwed up. So it's same with comics. You either order the right amount or you don't. And movies, you would. 2 months ago, I didn't think I needed 10 copies of this particular movie, but in fact, I needed 20. So
but also remember that back in the day, movies in the theater would run for months. Nowadays, if you get a month and then you're going to streaming, a month later, it's a different world now.
Have the streaming then.
Months later. That's just like weeks later. Movies barely last a month now before they go into fucking streaming services.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Brian, because I think the fear everybody had for renting movies from video stores was, oh my God, my car got broken into and they took the movie that I was going to return. Right. So of course they go to you, Brian, because now you're the godfather of the whole block. And they're like, oh, Godfather, please. I don't have that movie now. How much do I owe?
Oh,
you're like,
they were
$80.
Yeah. So if it was a regular item and not a sell-through item, the minimum was going to be $70 for that. Movie would cost. That's what they would. That was the biggest deal about making store people returned was $70. You have a very limited window to make it back at $2 a piece. So you would hope they'd rent it for one day, return it, rent it to the very next person, do that consecutively, and hope that the VCR didn't need it or it didn't get stolen, and you would actually make a couple bucks off of it. But yeah, if someone lost one, it was quite.
Hey, $70 is still a big deal now. So let alone in '86
back then that people would consider moving.
$70 pays for a video game. Now, barely.
Yeah.
So Brian, I'm gonna add on to my next question. The first question: how long did y'all have? Because back then y'all could buy the movie, but it was at a later time. How long did y'all have it for rent before it was available for people to buy?
Oh, so if you're talking about what they would usually give us, it was anywhere from 20 to 30 days to allow us to make our money before they would put it out as a sell-through item after that. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen until at least 88, 89 when E.T. and Batman came out. That was the two
E.T.
big
came
ones.
out earlier than 88.
Yeah, so around that time period is when that really hit with the sell-through items. But Batman was one that they offered for $19.99 or something like that.
I'm gonna disown my kid.
And then Disney hit, and they started really doing it really, really heavy. So, but yeah, it was usually about 20 to 30 days. They would allow you to make it.
So if you were to look into the future, Brian, right, and you see what some of these vintage VHS game movies are being graded and they're being sold, and you're going, if I would have known, I would have kept an unopened, an open box or an unopened movie. Which movie would you go like, oh, I would have slipped that in my and never opened it?
If you guys have time to sometime just dive down that rabbit hole, look up Wizard video horror tapes, and you're going to want to look up big box, such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you have a sealed Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 Wizard big box, it's probably $750 to $800 right now.
Jesus.
Yeah, so all the Wizard videos would be like that. It's not your regular stuff like Street or Halloween or those sort of things.
Who else? Wizard. I mean, what than Texas Chainsaw? What are the other ones that?
I heard that
Wizard. Yeah, it was. They were still a company up until probably 7 or 8 years ago. He was. His last name is Band, Charles Band or David Band, something like that. And so he reproduced all that stuff once the VHS craze hit again. And you could actually buy it directly from him. They were repops, but they looked like the originals, and they were printed off the originals.
He is correct. They actually are worth that much. They're actually worth more.
Yeah.
So another thing that I heard that was worth a lot were the original Disney movies with the black diamond on the covers. I heard those were worth more.
Well, they're worth more than the regular ones, but they were a dime a dozen because they just made so many of them.
So many of them.
They were just so.
Yeah, eventually stuff like that burns the hype out, and it's they're out there.
Yeah,
right.
There was like a penis on the cover of like the Little Mermaid or something that had everybody like buying that, spending a lot of money. I'm serious.
Disgruntled employees that got away.
You're thinking of the right movie.
And people were like spending tons of money to get that cover with the
that was a different portion of the video store. You had to go way in the back.
No, this was the Little Mermaid
with the curtains that said adults only. Brian, did you have one of those?
Where you hung out?
We had a door.
Where you hung out?
That made a real distinct creaking noise. The hinges were worn out. We didn't. So we can know.
You put hinges on the adult door? Oh my god!
Yeah,
my god!
People were sneaking back there or not, so we didn't intentionally grease the door.
Hold the phone. So Brian, you had that section.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this is a question I've always wanted to ask.
You know he had that.
It doubles as your golfer.
Well,
Debbie does Dallas.
Yeah.
You know he had that section, Caesar.
So this is my question to you, though, Brian, because I've always wanted to ask somebody who actually owned that smut, that godforsaken smut room.
Oh yeah, because you've never watched porn.
Yeah, I never walked in. I never had a creaking door in my life. Walking in
the curtain.
You oiled it.
I just went to the curtain one.
Right.
You oiled it, really?
Caesar said my middle name is Lothario. Caesar
Lothario Morales. So my question to you is, was that a big seller for you guys?
Yes, huge. That was. It's going to sound super strange, but it was probably 60% of our business.
Caesar, are you new to the idea
in
of
the
naked
90s,
chicks?
you had like Tara Patrick, Jenna Jameson, like you had all of them.
When people would rent those videos, what was the most popular candy they'd buy?
Dan, nobody needs to know the answer to that. Like nobody. What the fuck?
I was never butter in the popcorn.
What was your favorite candy when you got it?
That's one
I
question.
It was that but I'm not sure. I just need to confirm that.
That was not on my bingo card tonight, Dan. That question, just to let you know. Because I would think, right? Because of course everybody walks in with probably the low hat, and they're like, "How you doing?" And then they're like looking at the Disney stuff, or they're looking at this, and then they slowly slide, and then you hear.
You got that Debbie Dallas movie and some goobers.
Debbie does Dallas.
You're right.
Debbie did everything and everybody.
Triple D.
Said some goobers.
Our town was like 1.5 miles long, so they didn't have. Everybody knew what everybody was doing anyway. So
Oh my God!
They wouldn't sneak in. They kind of wave their hand like, "Hey, how you doing over there?" And they just go right
Excuse
on
me,
back.
Mr. Armstrong, can I get the copy of Showgirls with some Mike and Ike's, please?
Yeah.
The bucket of popcorn with the hole cut in the bottom. Wow.
That must be
Yeah.
pretty. I got to tell you, Brian, that's probably going to be very weird to have such a small town, a video store in a small town where everybody knows your name, and you see Mr. Johnson going in renting 2 movies, right?
Right.
I'm assuming those were always returned, or did those movies disappear a lot?
No, those guys were pretty loyal. They would make sure they returned. So we were talking about if you would know whether a movie was in stock or not. So we used the pull card system. So ours would have like a little white card in it, had the title on it. If that card was in there, it was available. These guys were so good to us that we would have a little bin where we didn't have time to put the cards out. They would actually go put the cards for us. They would spend extra time back there making sure the movies were in stock for the next people. So, we had our loyal customers.
Porn Bros always rewinded.
Yeah.
They're the good guys.
But I don't know if you would want them to rewind it. I'll be like, just leave it the way it is, dude. Just.
Brian, can I ask you a question? So on a Blockbuster model, the revenue was split. Like it was like 60% to the store, 40% to the studio when you would rent, right? Like their model was they would Blockbuster would go in business with the studio, so they would split the revenue with the studio. For you, a private store owner, would you have to just buy the movies outright?
Yes. Yeah. So they were the only ones that had that deal. So that's why a lot of mom and pop stores and independents really they were really frustrated with that because they did get that deal. So that's why when you go in a Blockbuster and they have 100 copies of Scream #1 and you come to my store and I have 10. Well, they may have only paid $10 a piece for theirs, and I had to pay $60 and $70 a piece. It's
like
impossible for me to compete with them. But yeah, they did the revenue share. We couldn't do that.
Y'all should have increased our creaky door section.
Yeah.
Y'all should have made the creaky door section bigger.
I did. Creaky door section was pretty popular, and it was beneficial to the store for sure. Yeah.
Creaky door section.
We need to bring back VHS stores and just call it the creaky door.
The creaky door section, the creaky door, right?
That's the name of the store, is the creaky door.
So
did you have to watch
Brian,
all those movies to really connect with your customers? To understand
market research. It's market research.
Yes. So there's times where Brian's just sitting there going, yes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So the pizza delivery guy.
This one's got a plot.
I'm so glad we're talking about movies right now.
Is she going to tip? Is she going to tip him, or is she going to? Only $5. So Brian. So let me ask you a question, Brian.
Yeah.
So now let's fast forward, right? So now we're getting into the age of now we're leaving the 80s. We're slowly going into the 90s, and there's this new thing called DVDs, right? And you're going,
Laserdisc came back.
You know. You're going, all right. So I got to roll with the punches,
came
right?
First, and then DVD.
Laserdisc came twice, right? Like in the 70s, and then
there was a thing called picture disc where it was like a big plastic thing that you put in and you took out, whatever. And then the Laserdisc came. It looked like a giant CD,
and that lasted for like 10 minutes. It looked like a
record
CD.
Oh, I had a buddy of mine. I had a buddy of mine. I had a buddy of mine who had it, and he was so happy because if you don't play it, it's also a 6-disc CD player, right? And you put the DVD, the laser disc on top, so it's a dual thing. But I will say, so Brian, so the DVDs come in, right? You're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna start buying DVDs to rent.
Hold on, before
right?
that, did you get into Laserdisc, or did you?
I did not. We had Laserdisc for sale. But we wouldn't rent them just because you didn't have anything to send them.
I know the second.
Send it in the original Laserdisc sleeve, so you didn't have anything. It was a rental version of a Laserdisc, so I did not rent those. No.
All right. So you went to DVDs.
Yeah, DVDs were in our area. DVDs did not
We're not
catch
talking
on
about that right now.
just because so many people were just.
What's it,
it's
B
just
man?
I do my work like a
and
good,
they were
like
set
a
in their
good
ways
child.
with VHS, which okay, but then slowly but surely Christmas would roll around and everybody got DVD players.
Oh.
So that was when it hit really, really big, and it was pretty successful with DVDs in the beginning once we started carrying them, but you could never have enough.
Were they as much money wise for you to purchase than compared to the VHS?
Yeah, they
cheaper.
were much. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so because they print them so, they're so.
Well,
Wait,
plus
the
by the
DVD
time
were
DVD came
cheaper?
around, selling this stuff became a thing. Like originally, these guys were buying it for the purpose of rental, but over time, it became a consumer product where they were like, "Well, we'll just buy the thing now." And so by the time DVDs came around, you were literally just buying these things.
Yeah, it was hard for us to compete with that because people would want to buy them opposed to renting them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really beneficial for me to sell them because I couldn't make any money off of it. They could just go to Walmart and just buy it for next to nothing. When here I am trying to rent it to them. So
were you still renting at the same price you were for the VHSs? $2,
I think they
$2.50.
DVDs did go up a little bit. We may have been pushing $3 for a DVD at the time.
So nowadays, okay, so now we're going right. You're okay. You're everyone's buying DVD players, which at the time when they first came out were expensive as shit, right? It was that thing, and you were lucky to have a DVD player, right?
Sure.
So you're still doing fine. You're doing great. Where's that episode, that moment that you were like, holy shit, now we're getting in trouble because everyone is just
when the biggest thing that happened, I hate to blame Blockbuster again, but when you would go and check a Blockbuster store and they would have 100 DVDs of the very same title and they were never out of stock, and you could either rent it or you could buy it, and I couldn't offer that option. That was a real downfall for us, just because someone may rent the video and then they would come back and say, I really love this and I want to buy it, but I couldn't sell it to them because I only had 10 copies of it opposed to 100, and that was a downfall for us.
And there wasn't enough like I don't know what you want to call it, niche movies to support it, because Blockbuster would not carry weird shit. They were very mainstream for the most part. They were very mainstream stuff. So if you wanted like The Mutilator, they don't have it. But to go over to the Mr. Movie Man store, there's not enough guys renting that copy to keep you in business.
Yeah, so we tried our certain things. So in our store, besides the adult room, our big thing was wrestling stuff. Wrestling VHS and DVDs was huge for us. Blockbuster wasn't carrying that at the time, so that we found our niche with that. We would make sure that we always had that. That was
like old WrestleMania or stuff like that.
Yeah, so they would carry select few of those, but we had them all.
Interesting.
And you could actually buy directly from WCW at the time, which is really strange, but they would sell to me. I'm not sure why, and then the select like Troma. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Troma, but it's a horror movie.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, so Troma would sell to us. Lloyd Kaufman, the owner of Troma, he would sell and put movies in our store. So if you found that and Blockbuster didn't have that, that might have been your own advantage, but that only lasted for a short amount of time because you just can't compete. It'd be like competing against Walmart at the time. It's nobody can compete against Walmart.
And the writing was on the wall anyway, because I think back in the 90s, Blockbuster thought it was stupid to try to buy Netflix for $50 million, and now look, there's like, what I mean. Now look at Netflix. So they were almost going to pay Warner Brother Discovery for, the
Netflix
GDP of a small
Blockbuster
country.
out of business.
Yeah.
Well, then all of a sudden they start seeing these things sprout out in front of these stores called the Red Box, right? Yes. And I'm like, okay. So now people could just go to the Red Box and rent screw Brian and his business.
Exactly.
Red Box was Netflix.
Yeah.
Right. Either way.
Our town is, just, it was such a small town. We did not have one directly in our town. We did not have a Red Box, but next town over, they did have a Red Box. So we had on each side of us, basically on each side of the river that split our town, there was a Red Box, and Yeah, when you saw a customer, you didn't see a customer for a couple weeks, you knew what was up, because you'd have your regulars, and once you didn't see them for a while, you would find out, hey, you've been getting from Redbox, and you've now left me, you know. And
so imagine living in such a small town where you're like, hey, Charlie, I haven't seen you at the store lately.
The weird thing is, you'll see people out and about, and I remember, like, you owe me money, like you. I'm pretty sure you still have my movies.
Do you have a membership card, Brian, that you can show us? Do you have an old membership card?
I do not. We did everything on the computer, and I just remembered everybody's phone number. We just did it by phone numbers. And Kelly, Daniel, like this, because we'll see somebody in Walmart or something, or out, you know, in the summertime, we'll be out and about, and I'll look at Kelly and I'll say, I still remember their phone number. You know, and just shout out the phone number. It's just something that was just you did all day long when they come in.
Yeah.
You just what their phone number was.
Was it the push button or the rotary?
Yeah, it was push button. Yeah.
You know what? It's funny that you say that, Brian. Off topic. I was talking to my wife last night. I said, you know, we and I'm going to say all of us, we come from a time where we used to have or use our brain so much more, right? We didn't have. If I was to say, hey, what's her number? Hold on. You take out your phone. Here, I'm going to send it to you. Back in my day, you had to fucking remember phone numbers, or at least have a black book and, you know, a little Rolodex or whatever it is. Numbers. I don't. I just been reminding my wives. I don't remember anybody else's anymore.
I used to remember anybody them all. Regularly. I don't anymore.
But that's the thing is you're not required to anymore.
No,
that's right.
This will do the job for you.
I always tell my daughter this. It's like, yo, no phone numbers, because what happens if your cell phone is dead and you're in an emergency and you use someone else's phone and you can't call somebody because you're used to pushing a name in a contact list. Like, know a phone number or two. It's just handy.
I just know Dan's, because if I need some kind of reassurance of that, I'll just ask him something and he'll say something stupid. I'm like, okay, I'm still pretty smart. So this is the thing. I like the fact that we have to sometimes use the brain, but in the generation that's coming after us and they won't have to remember jack shit.
No.
Just their name, the name of their mom and dad, and even if that, and because everything's on the phone. Oh, let me just look. Oh, what's that? So, let me Google it. Let me do this. Let me do that. Back in our days, we had encyclopedias. We had to look shit up. You had to fucking do a paper. You had to look that shit up on a physical book. Yeah. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. Right nowadays, you have AI just do it for you. Then you just correct it, fix it.
Yeah, but encyclopedias were terrible back in the day compared to what you have access to now. Like really limited. Like really limited. So you had to do a research report, and you had to go to 3 different libraries and Britannica and World just to get a complete picture of, not even a real complete picture, right? Like it's maybe 2 pages on a given subject. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just, they were terrible.
You're so right. We have like this beautiful set of encyclopedias in our house, and they're so outdated. Like we would never use them anymore, but we don't want to throw them away because they look so nice. But it's like, oh, what a shame, They're worthless.
You just save that for the nuclear winter when you need some wood. And,
nuclear winter. Yeah. What does it say? The last president was Nixon. Is that where you ended at? Right?
Oh Jesus!
I mean, there are countries that no longer exist that are still, talked about in old world books and
right.
Yeah, give encyclopedias to some kids now, and they will think this is like a whole other world.
They were like,
like I've even heard of these places. Yeah.
They were like, hold on, Siri. Tell Dad why this encyclopedia is wrong.
You're like, no, honey, the books are alphabetized. You're like, what does that mean? Alphabetized. You're like, oh boy, we're in trouble.
Yeah, so E-Man's going, imagine that salesman who's trying to sell the joy of when salesmen tried to sell the Q volume to my dad. Q.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, let's switch topics because I do want to talk about this because it's making my head spin. So I have yet to see this movie, and every single person I have talked to either hate it or loved it, and it's up for an Academy Award. Sinners is nominated. Now, I'm going to say I have heard more people say it is absolute crap.
Yep.
compared to people who say they absolutely love it. I know for a fact, you, Shannon, you didn't like it. Mandy, who usually likes a lot of movies, hated it. Tom,
See,
not
I
a
don't. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm kind of like right in the middle. Like I think it's fine. I just don't know where all the hype came from. I don't know where 16 Academy Award nominations.
So
16?
to be fair, the
16,
reason
yeah.
that the hype came from where it did was because as Michael B. Jordan's character and him playing two separate
Yeah,
characters, he did phenomenal for doing two separate with everything that he did to play them. He won a best actor for it. I'm super proud and happy for him. But that's the reason that the movie got as much hype as it did, because to me, like the high of that movie, when it was getting up there and it built up that suspense, I was like, yes, and then nothing. And I was like, fuck you, this is lame, because it just nothing. It was so disappointing. I was like, this is boring.
And that's
then
one of
they
the reasons
just,
why I'm
after
not
like
watching
the
it.
hype middle of it, then like
Can I throw
they
a
just-
counterpoint out to that though? I mean, I could Sinners. I'm either way. I'm a big Michael B. Jordan fan of me, but I would do this like. I like the way that they set it up. I like the setting of the movie. I like the idea of it. I don't want to spoil it for people.
Yeah.
And I would just say there's been
You can
been
say it,
movies
dude.
that
If
have
people haven't seen it by now, then fuck them, dude. That movie's old at this point.
Well, I would just say there's movies that are equally, if you really look at it on its own, they're equally as absurd. I mean, and I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this, but like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, yeah, it was entertaining. I mean, but it's what it was. And so I'm saying, like,
how dare you?
I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that Sinners got all these nominations, because I thought it was equally entertaining as that other movie. I mean, you know, I don't know.
I mean, the climax was gone. There was no, like, it hit a climax and then nothing.
Well, that's because it ended
dropped.
3 times. So
Yes.
every time you thought it was over, there was another ending, and then there was another
Yes.
ending. See, that
And
was the
then
thing for me. Is it felt like it was like multiple stories kind of put together, pseudo Quentin Tarantino style, but the execution of it never really like.
But only
gelled
after the
all of it.
climax. Like the first half of it was good, the buildup was good, the storytelling was good, but then afterwards you're like, what the fuck? They like slammed it all together really fast and pushed it out. Like I did not.
So let me ask, did you see it?
I love the music
I
though.
did.
The music was great.
Did you like it?
I thought it was great, but there's reasons, right? So first of all, I think Michael B. Jordan is a terrible actor. I'm not a fan. I like him, like I like Creed. I just don't think he's a great actor at all. I think he's overrated as an actor. He's done some terrible films. That Tom Clancy movie was just.
We're talking about Sinners-ish. You're diverting.
So Sinners, right? And I'm a vampire guy. I have
So
been
am I,
since.
but that was not
Oh,
it.
that's right. Vampire guy, not a horror guy. I remember that now.
Yeah, but for me, it was the nods,
right.
the actual subtle nods, the very cultural nods, like recreating the famous black painting, the dance scene, like all of these cultural nods that I really appreciated seeing on screen.
Oh yeah.
And it was like that painting piece was, to me, was just like a masterpiece. Somebody thought like, yo, this is a black painting that you see in every black person's house in the 70s. You know what I mean? That famous dance scene, and just recreating that for one. And it was like half a second where they all hit the pose. You know what I mean?
Yep.
From that picture, like it was just kind of like brilliant. You know what I mean? And there were so many of those nods that I really appreciated. And for that's why I enjoyed the film. I don't think it was the best vampire film. And I do not think it was Michael B. Jordan's. I'm just not a fan of him as an actor.
I'll agree with you to a point as far as like the nods of the culture were great, but it was the music that did it. It wasn't the movie. It was the music that did it. The music was what made it. It wasn't the movie. It wasn't the storytelling. The music was what made that good with those nods of cultural history. Like that I will agree with. But the storytelling and how it went down, no, that was awful. But the music, like I said, the music was amazing. Loved it.
Hey, Brian, did you see it?
I think it's just a bandwagon movie. I think people just like, oh yeah, that's great. I'm going to support that movie. And like you say, 16 nominations, and
that's a lot.
Well, it's just like Weapons. Weapons, when everybody lost their shit for Weapons, and I'm like, this is a garbage film.
I get that
Like Sinners is light years ahead of whatever Weapons is.
I get that he played multiple roles, but like Michael Keaton played multiple roles in Multiplicity, and he didn't get 16 nominations. But like that was how many years ago? He played 4 characters, and nobody talked about that.
So
I don't know. It's not my type of movie. It's probably what it is.
Is it worth me watching? I guess I gotta watch it, right? Form my own opinion on this shit, right? I mean,
well, if you like vampires, there's a box checked. If you like a little bit of history, like Ish was talking about, if you like a little bit of history, a little bit of placement in time, there's a check for you. It's shot really well. There's no visual problems with it. There's a check.
Right.
Like I don't think anybody that watches it should ever come out of it going, what a piece of crap. Like that's an impossible opinion for me. I don't understand where that comes from. You might like or dislike things, within the film. That's fine. But to come out and be like, this is garbage. Like, no, that's a crazy take.
I did try to listen to the soundtrack. I skipped every song. I just couldn't get it. Couldn't get into it. I'm a movie score kind of guy, and I don't think you
can listen to the soundtrack without the movie and actually understand it.
There are definitely scores that you need the film to tie it in. Otherwise, it's just sort of.
So you got to watch the movie to fit the score. I got you.
Yeah. And then you'll appreciate the music more aspect of it, like separately after you see what it's pertaining to, because like afterwards it's great. Like I liked it.
Now I have 2 very good friends of mine. They're a married couple, and they were telling us, they came over. They're like, you know what movie you guys got to watch? Caesar and Tammy, you got to watch this movie called Weapons. And I'm like, oh, I'm very well versed in this movie called Weapons because I know people who thinks it's absolute trash. And they're like, oh no, it's creepy, it's eerie, it's different, it's cool, it's this and that. I'm like,
about the kids.
Always remember that when you hear those points, it's creepy, it's cool, it's weird, it's different. There's no mention of the story. It's all just vibe. That's all it is just vibe. And if you just want to go in and vibe on something, go vibe on something. I'm not going to tell you not to, because it does have its weird vibe to it for sure. But if you're going to take it a step further and tell me it's a great movie because it has a vibe, then we're stubbing our toe. That doesn't connect.
I'm trying to think. Brian, did you like Weapons?
I didn't watch Weapons. So
you didn't watch Weapons.
On that.
Well,
I have heard
according to this group, don't watch it. That's fine.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I did not watch that.
Oh, so you heard it's not that good.
So I haven't seen it either, but there's a movie, and I wonder if y'all have seen it, that it kind of reminds me of. I actually thought the movie was good. Maybe I think it was terrible. I can't remember the name. Nicolas Cage was in it.
The Wicker Man?
No.
The one where he hits his head on the long legs.
No, he's a parent. And one day, like all the kids in school, something happens to them, and all the kids start murdering people.
No,
like all of the kids, and all of the school, all over the city.
Left and low.
Start murdering. It doesn't impact the adults; just impacts the kids, and they're just murdering people. And they
Dan, look it up.
Which section of the movie store would it have been in? Just to give me an idea.
Which one?
Just look
would have been in the creaky door, or would have been on the other side of the.
It was actually a good, for Nicolas Cage, who is really wooden, right? It was actually a good Nicolas Cage.
You know what? That's a good interpretation. I saw the trailer for Spider-Man.
Is it Mom and Dad?
It could be. I don't remember the name. I just know the kids, and at the end they came for them because it was all the kids. They just
it says Mom and Dad
didn't win.
Mom and Dad stars Nicolas Cage as Brent Ryan, a father gripped by a mysterious plague that turns parents violently homicidal towards their own kids.
Okay, well, there's it. That's got to be it. I mean, how many movies can Nicolas Cage do with kids killing each other? Come on, get the fuck out of here. what are the odds, right?
Nicolas Cage is what it is.
Turning homicidal towards their kids. That's Lebanese parents.
Yeah, Nick is like a 20-80 for me. I like about 20% of what he does, and then the other 80 is like, I don't know, man.
Raising Arizona.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, okay. We've all seen the trailer for the Spider-Man Noir, right?
Yeah.
I'm in because I like that idea of Spider-Man in the 1930s or 1940s.
Have you read it?
Yeah, I read it right now. It's the Spider-Man Noir on the cover. You son of a bitch. Noir. Okay, well, you're so classic. You're so cultured, you asshole. So listen, this is the thing. Are you guys going to watch it for? Are you going to watch it for the sake of? I gotta see what the hell this is all about. Are you guys 100% out? I'm gonna go to you, Brian. Are you in or out?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Yeah.
All right.
Nicolas Cage. I like a lot of his movies for some reason. I'm not sure why. Even the weird
You're
stuff.
gonna watch it in black and white or in color?
I'm gonna watch it black and white.
Yeah, I'm going black and white as well. Yeah,
I'm going black and white.
I think should be watched in black and white. But yeah, I'll check that out.
All right, Ish, you in or out?
I'm out.
Just for the sake of he just doesn't look good, or
because Sony has not done a good Spider-Man property outside of
I forget about
it. Just haven't done it. It's just not.
I forgot it's Sony.
But they've never. I want it to be good. I
Okay.
mean, Craven as a good guy. What are we doing? Like, what? Why? I don't even understand this. Like, I'm sorry.
Dan, in or out?
I'll be in. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot, but I might not watch the whole thing depending on how good or bad it is. But I'll definitely start watching it. I might have started watching Wonder Man, and people are loving that, and I was like, but I'll still watch it.
Okay. Tom.
Yeah, I'll give it the old college try, but I don't really have high expectations.
All right. Shannon, are you watching it?
No, but I'll listen to what Ryan says about it because I sure shit ain't gonna take the time. I got other things to watch first.
All right. Well, I'm
Caesar. Have you seen Craven?
I did.
The movie.
Have
the
you seen
best part about that movie?
I saw Morbius.
Part about that movie is him shirtless at the end.
Who, Dan?
No, Craven.
Oh.
Why do you do this? Why? What makes you keep going back? Did you watch the Spider Woman one? I don't remember what it was called.
Oh no, Madam Web was.
It's the train wreck mindset. It's sometimes you just got to see how bad can it really be.
No, but one time. You have to show me that it was bad.
But
and here's the thing: they all bring you different levels of why they're bad. You know what I mean? Like Madam Web has its own reasons for being bad. God. Craven has its own reasons for being bad.
Madam Web has every reason for being bad.
Madam Web was awful.
Between Madam Web, Craven, and Morbius, I will watch Morbius.
100%. 100%.
I'll watch Morbius.
I didn't think
Craven too, just because he looks good in it.
I didn't think I didn't mind Morbius. Morbius is fine. I could just watch it once. I'm fine.
It was the most fine of all of the movies.
The most fine. I love that.
Because it wasn't
the most okay. This is the most okay.
Well, what Morbius was, it was good for what it was. It wasn't the comic movie. It was just a good movie. It was different. It wasn't like, hey, let's base it straight off the comics. There's nothing.
Madam Web, I watched it by myself when my wife was out of town, and I was angry at myself. I was yelling at myself for sitting here and watching it.
Did you go to the mirror and just spit like, yo?
It's so bad.
I wanted to I wanted to like shit on me. You know, it feels possible because I was so angry that I sat myself. And it's 40 minutes into the movie, and I go, what the fuck is going on in this movie? I'm so confused. I don't understand it. And apparently you can go to South America and back to New York in a matter of 2 hours, apparently, right?
And no time passes in New York. Like no
time passes in New York. And not only that, but I'm going to steal a cab and drive it the whole movie. Well, no one's looking for it. There's not an APB on it. There's nothing. You can drive the whole cab.
And we have Sydney Sweeney in the movie, but we're not going to show her other than about 5 minutes.
I'll change my.
We got Sydney Sweeney, who's supposed to be a high school student. That's the other thing.
Y'all have convinced me to watch Spider-Man Noir, and the reason why is because we're talking about Morbius and Craven and Madam Web, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, all of these movies are movies that you're actually waiting or expecting or should be expecting Spider-Man to show up at some point in time. And Spider-Man Noir, we're actually getting Spider-Man. So maybe I will, you know what I mean?
That was the crazy part about all those Sony movies is Peter does show up. Spoiler alert. Peter Parker gets born in one of those movies.
In Madam Web.
Yeah. Well, okay. Spoiler alert. There we go.
Is it
here's the
really a
thing.
spoiler?
Is
alert,
it
though?
really a
Like,
spoiler
after
Just
alert?
all
throwing
this
it out there. Just
time?
throwing it out.
At a movie that no one saw, because right now someone
Well, if no one
going, I'm
saw
not
it,
going
then
to
it's a spoiler.
watch. I'm not going to watch Madam Web anymore because Tom just spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
They've
you don't need
already
to watch it
changed. They've already changed Spider-Man Noir, right? Like it's not Peter Parker of the 30s. It's Ben Reilly, right? So it's
anymore.
like
Right.
the clone of Peter Parker, but set in the 30s.
Right. Yep.
That's
I
gonna upset Ryan because
Yeah,
Ryan's a big
don't
Ben
worry about it.
Riley fan.
I don't understand.
I like Ben
What is-
Riley.
What's wrong with Ben Riley? Because this is supposed to be
No, no,
Uncle
no.
Ben.
He's-
What's going on?
he's
What?
the
I know
clone.
Ben Riley is
Ben
the
Riley is the
About
clone.
Chasm.
Nothing is wrong with Ben Riley. I said it's gonna upset Ryan if they're gonna make it like the clone and set it in the 1930s and make it bad. Like that's
mean,
gonna be upsetting.
The retcon is that him and Peter Parker have switched as Spider-Man back and forth, off and on throughout his history.
Well,
Yeah.
what is Ben
Peter
Riley's
needs a
character
break.
called now? Is it like Chasm or something? What's it called now?
Chasm, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So this Ben Riley and Spider-Man Noir is a
Not
clone
the clone
of.
of Peter Parker. Or,
It's not the clone of Peter Parker.
no, because this is
Nope.
an alternate reality, right? Where
Yeah,
So
Spider-Man
Ben
is in the
Riley-
30s, so it's just Ben Riley.
Everything is an alternate reality
Alternate universe, yeah.
nowadays.
You know what I
Yeah,
should start doing is
yeah,
reading
yeah.
books. That'd be great.
The Spidey has
Right?
two clones.
I might pick up a book and understand what the fuck I'm gonna watch because Ben Riley and clones and shit like
No,
that.
I'll tell you why you shouldn't.
Oh,
I'll tell
thank
you why you
God.
shouldn't. Okay. because if you get
He
only
said, "Thank God."
only in this context, right? If you're a movie guy and you're not a comic book guy, like you don't know the source material,
Like
you have no expectations of the film other than what the film is.
I can't get us disappointed.
You're not as tied into whatever you
Agreed.
know.
Yeah, because
right?
Madam Web was 100% comic accurate too, by the way.
You know what? You convinced me. I'm not gonna start reading.
Don't read.
But you
Don't read,
also,
Caesar.
but you also convinced me because I like going into these movies without knowing the storyline where people are like, it's bullshit because in the book he wears green
Yeah.
pants. You know, it's like, get the fuck out of here. I don't know that, right? But
Yeah.
they're like, right, but not that he's supposed to shoot web out of his fingertips, not through his veins.
That way
Yeah.
you can
You know,
get on
it's
the
like,
Comic Mini podcast and you can tell people if Drax sits still, you can't see him. That's like his power.
Hey,
I'm
so
gonna
let
put you on the
Which-
bottom.
which
I asked this
isn't his
question the
power.
other day, and I got a lot of really crazy feedback about it. So let's talk about James Bond movies. 'Cause I did a James Bond kick. Me and Kelly did this past week.
Yeah.
So, do you
Yeah.
like
Nef-
James Bond
Yeah,
movies?
Netflix put them
Yeah.
all out, and my wife's like, "Hey, Caesar, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna watch all the James Bond movies. I used to watch them as a kid with my dad." I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So we watched the very first one, right? The very first James Bond.
Dr. No.
And I was like, "Was it Doctor No?"
Dr. No is the first James Bond movie.
The first one where they're on the island and all that stuff, right? They got the metal hand and all that
Sean
bullshit.
Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery. Yeah, it was good. Bane. So he was like, I'm like, oh, this is fun. It's fun. It's good stuff. And then I think to myself, there's going to be a couple movies that I'm going to be like,
Probably
oh,
Lost, baby.
Nope.
So,
I
don't watch them.
Craig guy. I like Daniel Craig. James Bond is that's my James Bond. You know.
I haven't watched.
Really?
Yeah,
I like Roger
love
Moore.
Bond. And
I'm
we
a
watched
rock.
all those, and then we were like, let's watch a couple of the old ones, and we made it probably 30 minutes through. And we were like, this, I can't watch this. It was
from,
way
19,
cooler back
from
then.
1966. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
you can't compare. It's
Well,
It's-
remember in the 60s with Sean Connery, it was very just spy stuff. It wasn't a whole lot of gadgets and all that kind of thing. Then when you
Right.
went into Roger Moore played it up. Roger Moore played the camp.
More
That's where you
gadgets.
got all the gadgets. That's all the fun stuff. That's what we grew up with. That's why we have that nostalgia tick for those
Mhm.
that sort of zone, right? And
Mhm.
then you had the nightmare of Timothy Dalton. Those two movies were terrible. And then
Mhm.
I like Timothy Dalton. I was going to ask.
and then the four, who's the guy
Brosnan.
that came in? Brosnan.
Pierce
Chris Brosnan
Brosnan.
came in. Most people like those movies.
Mhm.
And then Daniel Craig came around. I really only like two Daniel Craig movies. I don't like the run of them as much as I like, just sort of the Roger Moore stuff. I like Casino Royale a lot, and
Yeah.
I like Skyfall. Like I think
Yeah.
those two are like Just put them together and be done. I don't really need the rest of them at all. I just watched Spectre. God, just a crappy movie. And I don't mind the finale, like the last movie. I don't mind it, but it was way too long. It was way too just kind of convoluted with crap. And
I like the video game GoldenEye.
yeah.
Fucking ish.
Listen,
I like the video game.
For me, it was and it's a negative for sure. You know, I didn't get to a place where creatively I thought outside of the box until I was a teenager, right? I was very much a product of my environment, and my environment was the projects, right? And like none of us, my mom, you know, loves Sean Connery, but there was no way you were going to get me to sit down and watch. I'm not doing it. I can't. Like, I'd see the spiral and Sheena Easton singing her song, and I'm good. I passed. But when I became a teenager, obviously, you know, I went back and I was like Hunt for Red October, you know, Clear and Present Danger, Patriots Game. Like, I was that was more for me than you know, Moneypenny and Pussy Galore. You know what I mean? Like the other stuff, you know.
But I used to watch Mission Impossible, the TV show. So I used to like that spy. I used to like that spy side of things with the little gadgets and stuff like you said. Roger Moore kind of made it more. You know, when Sean Connery first came around, he had little machine guns coming out of the headlights and all that stuff yet.
Yes, right? He did. His Aston Martin had that stuff, but
not in the first movie. That's what I'm trying to say.
Movie, but in his block of movies, he had the Aston Martin. Yeah.
But there's something about it that it's just very retro cool when you watch it. When you watch it, like, you know, he's just so slick. It's just.
Did you like the Avengers?
The TV show, The Avengers. I don't think I really got into the Avengers, and I remember they made the movie The Avengers, which was so bad.
Yeah,
and they said it was so bad that they didn't even have screening for the writers.
It was bad
for the critics. That's pretty bad. We don't even have fucking a preview for the writers, right? But stuff like that I used to like, right? And I think same reason why, and I always get shit from you guys, but I do like the Mission Impossible with that short guy in it, with Tom Cruise, right? I like those, and some people, I know, Tom, you're like,
the first one was pretty great.
I think they're okay. They just don't. For me, they are James Bond movies without any of the charm that goes with the James Bond.
I agree 100%. Yeah,
that's all. I think they're fine. The stunts are cool and all that. Like,
you're absolutely right, because that's exactly what James Bond has, and he has that charm. That's what he's known for, right? The shaking, stirred.
Yeah, I prefer James Bond opposed to Mission Impossible any day.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, kudos for Netflix for dropping them all in there, and you know, we got all happy. We watched one, and we haven't watched the others. What
are you gonna watch them? Are you gonna finish it?
You know what? We have to finish the 400 other shows we need to watch first.
In other words, you're gonna blow your wife off.
I'm gonna probably blow my wife off. I don't give a fuck. I mean, she's gonna get it anyways. I mean, that's just the way it is. You know, if you're not going to watch Madam Web with me for the fourth time, you're not going to fucking watch.
She used to watch these with her dad.
Yeah, she used to watch this with her dad. Her dad's Cuban and literally Cuban, and he used to sit there and he'd be like, "Oh, you know." And I think that's that thing. You know, she wants that nostalgia. It all goes back to nostalgia. As we're kids, I used to watch Kung Fu Theater. She goes, "Oh, I used to watch that with my dad," and I can't but hit me in the fucking mouth if I say, "Hey, would you like to watch The Flying Guillotine with me?" She'll kick me in the fucking nuts and then shove fucking bleach down my throat.
Snake in the Crane Shadow.
that won't work. You know, certain nostalgias work for certain people. Just because you watch it with her dad, as she used to watch
Godfather with you.
Oh, she'll watch that all night. I'm a lucky man in some parts. Like, she used to watch all the Godzilla movies. She won't sit down and watch a Godzilla movie with me. Fuck no.
That's a red flag. That's a red flag.
Listen,
No, I was never Planet of the Apes guy. That was never my thing either. I couldn't.
I don't
See, I could do that.
I
I
could
could do
Planet of the
Charlton
Apes.
Heston before I could do James Bond.
Really?
Like I could do all. Yeah. I mean, I listen. I wasn't so closed-minded before I was a teenager because I had like my mom who was very open-minded and she loved James Bond. She just couldn't get me to do it, but she'd watch all that old, all of it, and so I got to see it. There were things I didn't like. Like I was just having a conversation at the shop the other day. Like I could never do Monty Python, or not
Oh
Monty
my
Python,
God.
not Monty Python.
Yeah, no.
What's his name? What's the guy who
What
did Bride of
what is that?
Frankenstein and
Well,
what's
Planet of the
his
Apes. Yeah.
That's the score. Yeah.
Mel Brooks? I couldn't do Mel
Mel
Brooks
Brooks.
either.
I don't watch any of that shit.
Oh, are you kidding me? Bell Brooks, man, it's fantastic.
Dude, what do you
Young
worry about your hair
Frankenstein?
for
What
if you're
about
going to
Blazing
bed?
Saddles? You ever watch Blazing Saddles?
I did. I
Oh,
like Blazing
God.
Saddles before I
Okay.
knew it was before I knew, but most
Oh,
of
dear.
Mel Brooks stuff, like I was watching just the other day. I woke up. It's really
You
interesting
didn't like
because
Spaceballs?
Spaceballs is great.
so
Great.
I was at the shop and one of the guy who works at the shop with me. He's always trying to educate me on stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, you're really like Mel Brooks," and he just plays all this comedy. And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been telling you forever. I don't really enjoy Mel Brooks," and I wake up the next day to this marathon tribute to Mel Brooks on my TV. And I'm like, oh, wow. And so I'm watching all of these comedians that I respect and appreciate talk about how The Bride of Frankenstein is the funniest movie ever. So I'm like, okay, let me watch this movie. And I'm like, I love Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Young Frankenstein. Young
Young
Frankenstein.
Where's the comedy? Like, I
Well,
don't
comedy is one of the most specific things. You are either in on that joke or you are out on that joke.
100%.
So, certain comedians, whether they're stand-ups or actors or whatever, you are either going to be in on it or you are going to be out. And you really can't fix that problem, right? You either accept it and you're laughing, or you are completely shut out. So I happen to like a few of those Mel Brooks movies, but I totally understand. It's like me. I don't like Monty Python stuff.
Oh,
I don't
love
like Monty Python either.
I love Monty Python.
Cannot
That's
deal with a minute of Monty
Python is
Can't do
my
it.
jam.
Can't do Monty Python.
Oh,
Yeah.
You sons of bitches. That's the
But
last time
I
you're on
guess
this
I can
fucking
do
show.
some Mel Brooks movies because I found out after the fact that they were Mel Brooks. And again,
Yeah.
I have been a fan of Gene Wilder for as long as I can remember because I like Stir Crazy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I loved Stir Crazy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like him and Richard
Stir
Pryor
Crazy.
and I thought it was great. I'd watched it 100 times when I was a kid.
Yeah, movies funny is when you start laughing because when you mention a title, you start laughing because you start having these memories of when he says "stir crazy." You start having these like flashbacks, of these things. That's when I get the same thing when I watch when I hear Blazing Saddles, when I hear Airplane,
I like
when
Blazing
I hear
Saddles.
Young Frankenstein. I get those things. I get the humor, and that Monty Python Holy Grail for me is one of my top.
Was Young
stuff.
Frankenstein funny to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You like
Which,
laugh?
Can I ask
You
a
laugh?
question like crazy? Is anybody interested in seeing The Bride when it comes out?
Yeah, I'll go on Thursday. I'm going.
I really
Yeah,
love that. I saw the poster and I was thinking to myself, like, wow, for a modern take on Frankenstein, he looks like Frankenstein's monster. He looks really like you would think a modern.
I didn't,
Yeah, but
I
it's
didn't
about
realize.
The Bride.
I know it's
I
about the
didn't-
bride. I know.
Well,
I didn't realize it was Christian Bale. I had no idea it was Christian Bale.
It's sort of like Frankenstein crossed with Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Is sort of the Rubik's Cube of it. So
And
yeah, I'm ready for
basing
it.
I'm not basing it off like past ones or the stories or anything. I'm curious of how they twisted it for this day and age because I know that that's what they're doing.
Mhm.
But I'm like so intrigued to see this movie. I'm like, all right, let's see what they do with this. Like,
Is
I'm
it
excited.
is it a remake by chance?
No,
it's an
a whole
original
new take.
interpretation of the
Yeah.
Frankenstein
and his bride.
The
idea.
bride.
Yeah.
It's about his bride coming to life now. Like,
Is this
building
taking
homes.
place now? Is it taking place in present time?
It's a modern-ish. I don't know if it's a now, but it's a modern-ish. It's not like
Yes.
1800s or any of that.
I'm the modern-ish.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
You're a something.
I didn't
You know, yeah,
I'm behind on that one. I like Christian Bale a lot. I didn't know that was a Christian Bale movie.
He is
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, like
He's
Christian
amazing
Bale.
actor.
With Christian
I didn't
Bale.
even care about that. I was like more intrigued about how they were gonna spin her. I was like, "Ooh, let's see what they do." So
See,
Christian
when I
Bale's
saw the
amazing.
poster though, she kind of looked normal. You know what I mean? Like she didn't
No.
look like a monster or
Have you
or
seen
chimera.
the
She didn't look like
preview?
a chimera.
She's
I
a little
didn't. I
less.
saw the
Yeah,
poster.
she's less monster than Frankenstein.
Then
is.
Frankenstein, yes.
And that I don't want to spoil for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Well,
But
she
within the
also-
trailer, you kind of see that it's not like they're hacking up people and like building her. It's a little bit different in that regard, but
Yeah.
she still has monster-esque things going on.
Yep.
But it's not as obvious as like the the cut head and the spikes and stuff.
Kind of like Dan.
Peter, Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. Love him. He's like the biggest. You never will find a bigger asshole portrayal of an asshole character than Gene Wilder. Like he has no fucks to give about anything at all in that movie, and I just loved it. He's like,
Yeah, but he's soft-hearted as well, though. So he's got that.
He's kind
Gene
of like
Wilder?
me. He's
Yeah.
kind of like me.
yeah,
A
but
little
Willy
bit like
Wonka wasn't soft-hearted.
Oh, he was soft-hearted at the end of Willy Wonka. He was with Charlie the whole entire time.
Yeah, but
I don't know that he was more soft-hearted or relatable.
no,
yeah, because he gave no
the whole
fuck. Did you see
Charlie
the
was like
movie?
that.
Yeah, but along
Like,
the
all
way,
those kids
he was
died,
yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah. All
she's
along the
probably just
way,
gonna
he
get
was like,
Let's just
whatever.
and oh well.
That's another interpretation movie. That's all how you think of the movie. That was maybe he was just putting on an act the whole entire time. Maybe he did.
Well,
care.
no, because with Charlie, he gave him a hard time too of not
Yeah.
listening and getting in trouble. So he
But-
gave him shit too.
maybe
just
that
as
was
hard.
And that
I
wasn't
mean, the whole time, according to the
That was
book, he was like
lesson.
in pain. You know what I mean? Like the whole time, he was like dealing with this like severe psychological pain, and he wanted relief from it. And
See,
Well-
that's the thing about movies. You don't think he's a hard ass. I can think he's a hard ass with a soft heart. And we're both. right.
Well,
That's
what
what
I
people
got
say
from the,
about me. So I mean,
what
I get
what I
it.
got from the movie is when I first met Dan, he said that's how he and his family was.
Here we
They
go.
slept in a big bed in the living room,
Poor
and they
Dan.
slept head to toe
with feet into each other's face.
with feeding each other's fucking cooch because
Yeah,
that's how they
who-
fucking
can I-
slept.
can I say-
Both his
who else got
grandparents,
annoyed?
both sets
Who else
of
got annoyed that all the
grandparents lived
grandparents
with
were
him.
laid up in a bed, and then they get the golden ticket, and the dude starts doing backflips. It's like, you mean this whole time you couldn't make any money? The mom was working her ass off, and now suddenly you got a golden ticket. You're doing backflips.
Like,
Well,
both-
Dan-
both in-laws are living in the
I
house
mean, come
while
on.
sleeping in the same bed.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you realize, Dan, but it's a movie. Just to let you know, they weren't
it's
really
not.
sleeping in the same bed in the
No.
fucking living room. You know, Willy Wonka is one of those. What they've made? How many now? 3 of them, right? The Gene Wilder, the Johnny Depp,
Chalamet.
and then they did the Chalamet. Right? I never saw the Chalamet one, by the way. Did you guys like that?
Nobody
Chalamet
did.
one
Nobody
was
saw
better
that
than the
movie.
Depp one.
Yeah, Depp one was
Chalamet was better than Depp.
but I can't watch anyone but Gene Wilder in that role.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
kind
he's
of.
to me
I
is the
agree.
living definition of no fucks to give in that movie. He
You know
had
what? You
none
just
of
gave me an idea. I think for the next month's show when we have our movie night, I think we're going to bring up which character cannot be replaced in movies
Ooh,
in-
that one
in-
can be
in-
fun.
in your mind. So I'm going to give you guys. You have a whole fucking month to think about, and I'll give you a couple examples. Can Iron Man Downey Jr. get replaced?
Nope.
Can the Willie? Rethink about these characters that we
I like
grew
that.
up knowing, liking, and I'm gonna
But
ask
can
you
also
guys.
use comparisons based upon characters that were replaced, right? Like multiple times. Like James Bond is a perfect example, right? Or
James Bond's a perfect example,
Joker,
right?
Batman.
Yeah, Batman, Joker.
Right.
There are some
So-
examples of-
Because there's some people who will say, no, Keaton is my Batman. I don't give a fuck. I can't watch anything else because it was
I don't
Keaton.
know. Christian Bale did a good job as
He did.
Dark Knight.
Thank you.
He did.
So,
and Keaton did
Yeah.
a good job too. Like Keaton, Bale,
Yeah.
like
but
know,
they're
I'm a
two
fan
different
of
George Clooney.
Batmans. So
I'm a fan of Nicholson's Joker and Ledger's Joker, but for
Yep.
different reasons. You know what I mean?
George Clooney, hands down, the best one. Val Kilmer, then Bale.
You just like the nipples.
Dan,
the
nobody
bat-
asked
you just
you.
like the bat nipples. Dan was quiet the whole time. He was so nice, and then he comes out. Oh yeah, Clooney. He got the Clooney, and then everything goes to shit.
just
All right, so this is about that time of the show where we go around, we start telling people, hey, this is where you're gonna catch somebody, watch them, and all that good stuff. As always, the first show of the month, I really look forward to because it's not comic book related. We always talk about it's about movies and TV shows and topics, which is it's fun, right? Because there's a lot of people who don't give two shits about the comics, but they love the movies, right? So love this, and we always try to bring new people. But I do like Brian's take. So Brian, I'm going to invite you back next month, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Ish, I'm not going to invite him back, not Ish. Dan, because like I said, Dan makes me feel smart. And of course we have Tom, and then we have Shannon as always. Ish is my go-to when everyone else drops out. So because I know he's going to be there, late, but he'll be there. Dan, Ish is my ride or die mofo. All right, so let's go with Dan.
Listen, I would like to be called a mofo with a hard ER, so I prefer motherfucker instead of mofo.
No,
Listen,
prefer
motherfucker.
mofo.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna
Like
go
that?
with mofo.
Was that better?
That's-
all right, I'm just checking. Just checking.
All right, Ish. So I mean, Ish. I'm sorry, Danish. Tell me where are we gonna find you?
So-
What's going on with you?
So when you don't find me here on the Comic Menu podcast, Making Caesar Look Smarter, you can find me on Instagram, Tree City Comics, where I'm always posting about the books I'm reading, different toys, different shows, different manga, anime, mainstream, indie, you name it, whatever. The Mandalorian, as an example.
It's time for my
but you can
back
always-
pill.
Oh my God. You can always find me on Tree City Comics on Instagram. Please follow me there, and I'd love to connect with you. Also, I'm one of the newest hosts for the Comic Underground. So if you don't find me on the Tree City Comics, you can find me hosting the Comic Underground. And I think this Thursday at 8 o'clock, I'll be hosting Josh from Head Ken's Comics and Cards from 8 to 11 Eastern Time. So definitely look us up, the Comic Underground.
Yeah, go support this guy. He needs as much as he possibly could find. He's new to claims. He barely speaks a little bit of English. His English is it's funny. His English is perfect here, but when he goes on there, it's broke.
You want book? I've got book. You want book?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go with let's see who we got here. Let's go with Boss Lady. You're up next.
Okay.
Hold on, let me put you up here. There we go. What's going on with you?
All right, so let's see. Husband's really busy this month. He has Cleveland next weekend. The weekend after that, we will both be at MegaCon, and then the weekend after that, which is the end of the month, is PlanetCon, which is our hometown show. We have a nice big booth. We are previewing Con Artist 7 for these shows, which will also be launching in April. We're going to do the Kickstarter for the Con Artist 7. Let's see. If anybody knows my husband, then you can find me somehow, some way. Yes, I will talk shit. It's what I'm good at. It's what I do. What else? I think that's it for like the next month. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're at Planet and we like you, you'll get an invite to our house for the big barbecue we do at the end of the weekend. Love y'all.
Yeah, that's the funny part. If we like you, and that's the good part right there.
We don't invite everybody. We invite certain people, and that's it.
All right. Well, I know Tom's not going. All right, here we go, Tom.
Tom's
what do you got
not
going
to
on?
Planet.
No, Tom's not going anywhere. What's
I
going on,
might be
Tom?
going to Planet. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if you go to Planet, then I'll invite you because you'll know half of the artists that'll be at the house anyway. So it'd be fine.
Yeah, I won't be boothing, but I'm thinking about just going down and hanging out for the weekend.
Come visit.
So, yeah, we'll see, because C2E2 is the same weekend, but I'm like, I don't want to go there anymore.
Our lineup is like
I need to go
stacked
somewhere
this
else.
year.
Yeah, I need to go somewhere else. So it's 50-50 right now because it's still like a 10-hour drive for me, but it's a maybe. It's a maybe. But if you want Big Dog Ink books, bigdoginc.com. We'll be doing our second Legend of Oz: The Wicked West campaign in about 3 weeks. We're celebrating 15 years of our gunslinger Dorothy this year, so we'll be doing campaigns for Oz all year. And then conventions coming up. I think we're going to be at Motor City. We're going to be up at Traverse City. We're going to be at Oz in New York in June, as always. This will be our 13th consecutive year as a guest of Oz. Yeah, we'll kind of see where the rest of the conventions land. But if you need Big Dog Ink books, it's bigdogink.com.
All right. Well, thank you, Tom. That's it's mighty white of you. Okay, what do we got here? We got was that you, Brian? Yeah, let's go with you, Brian. What's going on? Where can we find you and all that good stuff?
Instagram always. I'm always on Instagram doing something. Like Dan, I try to support everybody on there, but Comic Underground mostly is where you're gonna find me. I'll do shows probably twice a month. You might see a pop-up show every now and then. So we're selling comics from everything from comics to video games these days. It just depends. You never know what from week to week what I'm going to have. But yeah, follow us, and basically anywhere you see that logo, that'll be me. Give us a follow. Let us hop in for a show one time. It's it's a pretty fun show. But yeah, I do Instagram most of the time. So, but it's I absolutely love doing this. So thank you for letting me be a part of this. It was fun. It's always
Brian, you're part of the family. And by the way, I bought a shirt from you. You never sent it. You sent it.
I still have it sitting in the box over there.
No.
I was trying to find you something else to send with it. That's what I was trying to
do. Okay. In that case, take your time. All right, let's go with with Ish. Actually, I didn't even buy it, Brian. I didn't even send you money yet. That's how I think about it.
So I'm not gonna do my normal thing because I'm not normally on this show. Probably be on this thing like twice a year. But I want to thank y'all for inviting me into your space. Enjoyed it. Second time I've been on. Really, really enjoyed it. I've been on with everybody on here before. Y'all guys you're all really awesome. Always good seeing you, Shannon. Tell Ryan I said what's up as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So I do comics. I do comics well. I sell them. I sell them well. I'm kind of on the spec side of things. Most of the people in here know where to find me. If you don't, you can find me at Comic Sense, COMIXSENSE group page on Facebook and on Instagram. And you can find me on the Comic Menu podcast every Tuesday night. That's not movie night. And yeah, I really appreciate y'all inviting me into your space. It was really fun. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
There's something about this show on movie nights is because I don't know, it's a different type of vibe, and I like it. It's not because I like looking at Tom's face. No, it's not that. And it's not because,
hold on really quick. Everybody, make sure you find everybody in this podcast right now and follow them. Follow them, support their stuff. Find them, follow them. I follow everybody here. You should too.
Yeah, there you go. See, follow everybody. What the fuck do I do? Not so much on the Instagrams because I don't know. I get home and I'm like, I don't want to do a damn thing. I got so many reels I got to do for these figures and slabs. I've been slacking, and I'm
disappointed in you, Caesar.
You know what? I'm disappointed in myself.
Reels from you like every week that I really enjoyed, and it like where are they? Where are they now?
You know what? I have so many pictures and so many reels I got to do of these slab, and I have so much shit going on. But when I get home, and I'm like, oh fuck it, I don't want to do anything. My pants come off. They're on the ceiling like a fucking bachelor party. I mean, I just don't want to do a damn. I just don't. Yep. So I gotta for 2026 is the new Caesar. I'm gonna sit down and still not do a damn thing. So there's not fucking nothing new about me. I'll tell you that right now. I'm
gonna be contracting you to do a reel here in a couple months.
Oh, good. All right. Well, other than that, if you're still looking for a voiceover, I could give you what you want, Bane. Yes, I can give you Bane. I'm too busy reading. That's right, Peter.
Yeah,
son of a bitch.
All right, I've officially followed all of you. You're all being followed. You're all being followed.
I'm going to be one of these days, Peter. I'm going to bring you on so I could just boot you off. That's it. FYI.
You're blacklisted.
Okay. You're going to be so blacklisted. I know a lot of people. Okay, guys. Next week we have Comics, Geeks, and More. We're going to have a bracket challenge. I'm going to try to convince Ryan to come on and do it. Bracket challenges are always fun. We still have to pick. We're not telling what the bracket is. We still have to come up and find a bracket that we haven't done yet. But we're going to try to pick a new one. We got Comic Sam. We got Ish. We got Dan. We got Comic Geeks and More. We're hopefully going to get Ryan And if I have time to squeeze one more person in there, we can. But it is always fun. If you've never been here for the comic, for the brackets, it's basically a superhero tournament style like March Madness. And you get to the middle. I did it once with Shannon when it came to movies. That was pretty fun. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Ridiculous.
We're gonna call it the creaky door bracket.
Man,
and we're gonna see if Debbie Does Dallas ranges as champion in the middle, right? So,
And Debbie Does Dallas beat out Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
It definitely beat
for my day job. That's gonna be the fun part when everybody starts seeing what I do for my day job.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
That's gonna bring up some interesting questions maybe for the next time.
You know what? I tell you what, Brian, you might save that when we have you on in what is it, Shannon? October. Right.
Oh, for Halloween stuff.
Yeah. Once you find out what Brian does, people will be interested to find out what. We'll talk about that. All right, everybody.
Don't come back for 7 months, Brian.
Yeah.
So don't come back for 7 months.
Yeah.
or talk about it for 7 months.
It's fine.
All right. Okay, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much, and peace.